Welcome, everyone, to 24/7 Sports. I am Tom Loy alongside the 105 guys. We've got Director of Scouting Andrew Ivins and National Analyst Cooper Patagna. Signing day is right around the corner, so we're diving into 2025 recruiting classes and breaking down the soon-to-be signees. We are going to hit 4 superlatives, and today we're talking about Mississippi State. The Bulldogs currently have the number 33 ranked recruiting class in 2025, and there are 16 commits set to play for head coach Jeff Lebby. Ivins, will go to you first. Early draft pick potential. Somebody with elite traits now who might hear his name called in a couple of years in the NFL draft.
Well, how about Mississippi's 1A Mr. Football, Tyshawn Willis, our number 8 ranked edge rusher. We're ahead of the industry here, I think. This kid has had a heck of a senior season, 31 tackles for loss, 12 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, a pass breakup, and then what he's doing on offense, 34 carries, 520 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. He's also caught 4 touchdowns. This was a guy that was on my freaks list. You look at him, 6'1", 240 pounds. He lacks the elite measurables. He has that lower body twitch and power. 2-time weightlifting champion in the state of Mississippi, holds the 1A state record for a 660-pound deadlift. He's gone 4.2 in the short shuttle. I really, really like this kid. And Mississippi State has churned out some NFL pass rushers. I think Tyshawn Willis is up next.
I'm going to go with quarterback Camario Taylor, Mr. Upside. This has probably been top 5, one of the most intriguing evaluations this entire cycle, from the time I got to see him in Atlanta at the Elite 11 regionals to seeing him at the Elite 11 finals in LA. Camario Taylor is one of those guys who's going to need a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of polish at the next level. But you think about him and what he provides in terms of the athletic context, 6'3.5", over 200 pounds. And this guy is pretty dynamic with his legs as well. You turn on the senior tape, he's got some jaw-dropping stuff there. The arm talent, he can make every throw on the field. I think the biggest thing is going to have to work on the footwork, the mechanics. Like I said, the seasoning of the game, he's going to need reps. So I think fit is ultimately really, really important. But working with Jeff Lebby, it's a pretty interesting mix there, a combination of how that partnership's going to work out. But Camario Taylor's got all the potential in the world.
I'm joining you with quarterback Camario Taylor. He's accurate. He's got a hose. He's athletic. He's everything you want in a quarterback. He's got a shot to have a great career. Now, Georgia's knocking on the door. They're trying to get him on campus, not this weekend, but the following weekend. So that's one that Mississippi State needs to hold on to. Day 1 impact. Go to you, Cooper. Give me somebody who's going to see the field early and often in year 1.
I'm going to go with Tyshawn Willis, and Andrew kind of laid out the resume there, especially off the field with the powerlifting background. And we got to see him at UA Dallas, and this guy is just built like a Mack truck. And I think that really kind of lends to him being able to play early and have an immediate impact in Stark Vegas. And you think about everything that this guy can do. You can play him off ball, but really going to make his hay and his money playing off the edge, and the speed, the power, that is his game. That's where he lives. He is a very strong physical player. And believe it or not, I mean, this guy is ready to go in the SEC. How often do we really say that about any of these guys? So I'm looking for him to have a pretty sizable impact in year 1.
Yeah, potential DPR, I think. Guys, I'm going to do something we haven't done in this series so far. I'm going to go with the junior college player. Is that legal? Can I do that? How about JUCO edge Xavion Hardy? Our number 1 ranked junior college prospect right now. He's one of 3 JUCO commits for the Bulldogs, which makes a ton of sense given the talent they're going to need for Jeff Lebby, where they're located. This was a kid that was committed to South Carolina throughout the recruiting process 2 years ago. Didn't have the grades, went the JUCO route, and now everyone's knocking on the door. So Mississippi State's going to have to hold on down the stretch, but 6'4", 265 pounds. That's what he was as a senior coming out of the Peach State. Looks like he's put on some good weight there at East Mississippi. 2.5 sacks as a freshman, only got 1 of them here in his sophomore campaign. But I think he's a guy that's going to be able to step in and play right away. Probably going to need a developmental year, so it's going to be key to get him in for that summer developmental kind of lifting period. But he should be ready to go.
I'm going to go with edge Tyshawn Willis. I'm joining you on that one, Cooper. He's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. It's obviously going to help in a year or 2, but he's super athletic. You guys already talked about him. I think he's got a chance to be a difference maker right away. Boomer bust. We will go to you, Ivins. An intriguing talent who might outperform, potentially underachieve. Somebody kind of a mystery. Who do you got, man?
Well, this is where I have Camario Taylor, our number 11 ranked signal caller, kind of moved up in the last top 247 update, and Cooper touched on it. His senior tape, it stands out to me. And this is an athletic freak, another guy that was on my freaks list. Mississippi State actually has 3 of them in their current recruiting class. When you look at him, it looks like Anthony Richardson, Cam Newton. I mean, this guy looks like a linebacker, a defensive end playing the quarterback position. He's streaky though, right? 58% as a passer here as a senior. I think the adjusted completion percentage would be a little bit better. Wide receivers aren't helping him out, but his ability to run with his legs, that's certainly there. Just him as a passer, would like to see him get a little bit more consistent. Now, he can drop some dimes, some 2 balls where your jaw's on the floor. We saw that at the Elite 11 finals. Remember, day 1, day 2, he struggled. Day 3, 7 touchdown passes in his 7-on-7 game. So I love the idea of him. Cooper mentioned that fit with Jeff Lebby. Interesting marriage there. Want to see how it pans out. But, man, he's a potential lottery ticket that could hit big. But I think the floor is also on the lower side.
Yeah, we talked about Kamario Taylor. We talked about Deshaun Willis, both guys on Andrew's freaks list. The last guy in this class that was on Andrew's list, about Frizzell Shepard out of Louisiana. And this has been another guy that we've talked about a lot. Is he going to be a receiver? Is he going to play on the defensive side of the ball as a DB? But you look at the athletic resume, 24 feet plus in the long jump, and another guy that ran 10.65 in the 100. Drew, correct me if I'm wrong. I think there are less than maybe 6 or 7 guys on that list in the entire top 247. So when you think about the athletic clay, super rare in terms of the athlete that you're getting with Frizzell Shepard. But when you turn on the tape, a little bit of ways to go. You can question the instincts a little bit. I think this guy is going to need some time to develop. But if you're Mississippi State, this is the world that you have to live in. You got to be somewhat of card counters, and they're getting a dynamic athlete here. Super curious to see how it's going to play out.
I'm going to go back to Kamario Taylor on this one, the quarterback commit. I had him as the early draft pick potential, but I also have him under the boomer bust category. And a lot of it, Ivans, you kind of touched on it, was just the consistency, the mechanics. I just want to see continued growth. Now, I'm leaning towards boom. I fully expect him to outperform his whatever he is in the 4th or 5th round grade, according to the rankings. I think he's number 122 overall, but fully expect him to pan out and kind of outdo that ranking. But again, there's something about him. You just kind of get that idea. Like, he could be a draft pick down the road for sure, no question about it. But he's either going to be a 1st round, 2nd round, maybe 6th or 7th. That part I'm just a little confused about at this point. Diamond in the rough. We'll go back to you, Cooper, a 3-star prospect who might hear his name called on draft day in a couple of years. Who do you got, man?
I'm going to go with A.J. Rice, the linebacker. Looks like a big 3-4 inside linebacker, guy that can do a lot of different things. And, you know, with Mississippi kids, we talk about this a lot. Sometimes it's kind of hard to chase down the variables and get a real idea of kind of what they look like athletically. And we always talk about the importance of that postseason evaluation at Alabama, Mississippi, because a lot of times it's our first time really getting to see these guys in person. A.J. Rice is one of those guys that kind of fits the bill. But when you turn on the tape, like, love this guy, super instinctual player, especially a guy that's very comfortable playing between the tackles, stack and shed, plays with violence. And a guy, like I said, the key and diagnose ability really kind of jumps off the screen. So this is a pretty savvy kid, a guy that I think's got multi-year upside starting potential in the SEC, and a guy that I think can be productive sooner rather than later.
Oh, Coop, I was interested to see where you were going to go there. Lots of commits that are in your region. I'm going to take one from my region, La'Kavian Jackson out of Florida's Panhandle, and Mississippi State has had a ton of success recruiting that area over the years. Martin Emerson comes to mind, the former cornerback that's now in the NFL. La'Kavian Jackson, his senior season, I love what he's put on tape, right? I think he's a 2nd-level hybrid defender, kind of a mix between an off-ball linebacker and a safety, but on offense, he's playing running back and wildcat quarterback. He's ran for over 600 yards in 16 touchdowns, and he's also getting it done on the defensive side of the ball, 5 forced fumbles, 4 sacks. The dude just can patrol the alley, loves physicality. We don't have a ton of verified information on him, but when I was kind of auditing the Sunshine State, right, looking for guys that are playing well as a 12th grader, La'Kavian Jackson was one of those individuals. Number 90 ranked safety for us right now. I think he's also someone that could step in and can kind of contribute in year 1, maybe on special teams.
I am going to go with cornerback Darian Horsley. He's, as you guys call, a 3-phase player, contributes everywhere. Love the length, smooth, good ball skills. Not getting tested a ton this year as a senior, but I like him a lot. It wouldn't shock me if he ends up competing earlier rather than later. But that wraps it up. As I said before, we're going to hit a bunch of schools leading up to December's early signing period. But for Andrew Ivans and Cooper Patagna, I am Tom Loy. As always, stay locked at 247sports.com. Bye.